STICKERMANIA from Louisville, Kentucky, Saturday night. Live stream, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How's it going out there? My son Travis going to be the moderator tonight. Sticker Brat didn't make it. He's playing with other grandchildren. I ran to the store and back a few hours ago. Was it low 30s or something and snow flurries?
28, I think it was.
28. What's going on out there today?
Polly Hewitt said hello all.
How you doing, Polly?
I hope Sticker granddaughter had a great birthday.
Yeah,
yes, she did.
Sticker granddaughter turned 18.
She played bingo today, so she's out playing bingo right now, getting to do that for the first time.
You can play bingo in Kentucky at 18.
Mm-hmm.
You can bet. You can gamble a little bit.
Yeah. You can do the bingo.
A few notes. Mikey Arugula was on Mean Mr. Mayo's channel a few days ago with Beatles collecting hazards. And it was a rare unboxing with Mikey Arugula. Did you guys check that out? Rick Beato did that interview with Ken Scott, and Ken Scott said that the way to hear the Beatles is in mono up to the White Album, and he said how Paul came around him when he was mixing Helter Skelter into stereo, and he had made him fade it back in after it was over on the mono mix. And Ken asked him, "Why'd you do that?" And he said, "Well, everybody says that our mono and stereo mixes seem to be a little different." And he says, "I'm going to intentionally make this one different."
Larry says hello, how's it going?
How you doing, Larry?
And then Novus Nick,
how you doing, Novus Nick?
6928 says good evening, Frank.
Good to have you here, Novus Nick.
Appreciate it. How you been?
So Every Little Thing Beatles episode number 18 is coming up with Mikey Arugula. Is coming up next Wednesday, January 21st. We're going to move it up to 8 p.m. instead of 8:30 because we have a young 14-year-old guest, Records and Trains, Brennan. It's going to be our guest, 14-year-old. He's into collecting Beatles. We'll see what his take is on collecting the Beatles from the younger age group.
Thomas Crook said hello, Frank and Travis.
How you doing, Thomas Crook?
Got my George Martin Hard Day's Night single and sleeve today. Thank you.
All right, way to go.
And then North Carolina Vinyl Picker said good evening, Frank.
How you doing, Arthur? That's what my Thomas Crook got today. But he got one in a little better shape with the record. So you could tell the George Martin, they were pushing the Beatles heavily in the summer of 1964. And if you notice their heads, their eyes, and their hair is airbrushed a little bit. It looks different than the Hard Day's Night cover. I don't have a Hard Day's Night cover in here to compare, but I'll show you that next time.
Little Beatles Corner says hello.
How you doing, Patricia?
And all in chat.
Patricia, you get your Beatles for sale, -1, -2 cut yet?
Larry said, did you see the documentary on YouTube about Mel Evans ready for the Beatles?
No, I didn't see it. I'm almost completely done with the Kenneth Womack book. I'm into the chapter where Lennon is living in that Malibu estate, and it's pretty much out of control, and Paul and Linda show up for 3 days, and they did a jam together, but the musicians were so drunk and stuff, it didn't turn out very good. I think it's called Toot and a Snore on the CD, the bootleg CD.
Danny Goldstein said, hi, Sticker family.
How you doing, Danny Goldstein? Talked about the Every Little Thing Beatles episode coming up. Spotify is changing the way the money comes in because Every Breath You Take, 1983 song by The Police, has been in the top 10 on Spotify for a while, and it's brought in $2 million in stream revenue this year. But Sting doesn't really want to share it with, he doesn't think he has to share stream revenue with the other two members of the police, Andy Stuart Copeland and Andy, not coming up with his name, but the other members are taking this thing to court to see if they can get some of that $2 million. So the money's different now in the music industry thanks to Spotify and streaming.
Little Beatles Court said, yes, I got my Beatles for sale. And then Ivan Music Man
Norway
said, at last finished with all episodes about the Beatles anthology on Disney. So he just got done watching them all.
I watched them all as soon as they popped up. I stayed for 3 nights in a row. I pretty much stayed up all night long.
That's called binge watching.
What did you think of watching the episode 3 with the Shea Stadium new footage? I mean, the footage remastered with the sound so good. That's what blew me away, the Shea Stadium footage. The Spotify, I was talking about that. On the Spotify global charts this week, that Joe from... his name is not listed right here right now. I got it somewhere. Joe Keery, that's the actor in the Stranger Things. That is the #1 song, End of a Beginning in the global. It's the #1 song on Spotify in the United States. It's the #1 song on Billboard charts in England. And it might be #1 on the Billboard charts here in the United States next week, but it's up against the new song by Bruno Mars, which is... What's the song by Bruno Mars? I Just Might. Bruno Mars hasn't released an album in almost 10 years. And a lot of the tracks from the new album are already on the Spotify charts.
Ivan said, P.S. I found the 12-inch record, Tiffany. I think we're alone now, extended version. He gave a thumbs up about finding it.
12-inch versions. I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight.
Music from Stranger Things. That's what Ivan said. Yes, that's what he's big on right now, with all the music that's on there.
Yep, the police has talked about Joe that's plays Steve Harrington. That End of the Beginning, that song is 3 years old, and it's like Pink Pony Club. It's taking over the world right now. It's got 60 billion views on TikTok, if you can believe that. 60 billion views on TikTok. It's got 2 billion streams on Spotify. It is a red hot song, End of Beginning. I've been playing a live version from Lollapalooza. I've been going down the rabbit hole on it like I did with Pink Pony Club from Chapel Roan. On the Spotify charts on the in the global, Sombra is Back to Friends is #5. The Police with Every Breath You Take is at #8. And I saw the clip of from Stranger Things for running up that hill by Kate Bush. That's a pretty... Somebody told me, my buddy Kevin from Kevin Records says that's Stranger Things for the younger crowd. But I'm going to have to make an attempt to see if I can understand it.
Yeah, I haven't watched any, sad to say. I don't know if I can get into it.
Prince is #36 with Purple Rain. I got a sealed Purple Rain album here, Prince and the Revolution from 1984. It's amazing how all this music from the 70s and 80s is red hot now because of Stranger Things. They say Stranger Things has been the #1 show on Netflix for the past couple months. And Radiohead is #37 with Creep.
Ivan said Kate Bush is one of his favorites.
The Steve Westman's, he's in Canada, and Bruno Mars has 4 shows coming up in Toronto in May, and there's 50,000 seats, 4 shows in a row. They're not all in a row in about a week's time, but he's already got about 2 of the shows sold out. So that's amazing how a new artist can draw 200,000 people to one town in 1 week. And there's I've listened to a little bit of this. I think it's called ASAP Rocky. The album was just released, I guess, a week or so, and almost all the tracks from the album are on the Spotify charts. Some of it's rap. He's got a lot of different styles in his music, and he's got a lot of guest stars on the album too, so I got to check that out. ASAP Rocky, I guess that's how you say it. That's pretty much my notes about Polygram Auctions. I'm a members only, subscribed to Polygram Auction. He put one out yesterday about the Lost Beatles movie called Up Against It from 1967 that they almost made, but they turned it down, and then they just ended up with the Yellow Submarine and Let It Be for the United Artists. And Mikey Rugla might be interested in this. On eBay today, a seller put up the Grundage TK20 reel-to-reel tape recorder that he got from the Julian Lennon estate. And this is the reel-to-reel tape recorder that the Beatles recorded songs at Paul's house in the cavern from 1959 to 1961. So if you want that, you better grab a hold of it real quick. It's $7,500. What else? Talked about Stranger Things. Talked about Bruno Mars. Talk about my 5 top audiophile pressings I played this week. They're pretty much all UK pressings. Number 5 was this 1983, A Flock of Seagulls, Listen. That song's amazing. Wishing I had a photograph of you in the audiophile pressing here from the United Kingdom. And I got a 12-inch in here too. Who was talking about 12-inch? Ivan? Mm-hmm. This 12-inch Depeche Mode from England, the long version of Everything Counts. This is a BBC library copy. This will rock your world. Everything counts. What a banger. But these 12-inch, don't know what it is, from the United Kingdom. They just, on my stereo system, they just sound amazing. Number 3, we're talking about Nilsson Schmilsson from 1971. This is a USA pressing, but it was mastered by Doug Sachs. It's got TML and the Dead Wax, and it's got 4 songs that went to the top. 4 songs off of this album went into the top 40. Without You, of course, went to number 1. Coconut, I really like the song Coconut, went to number 8. And it only has 3 songs. And Jump Into the Fire went to 27. It's got the original Nilsson poster in it. That chapter I've been reading on the Mal Evans thing talks all about John Lennon hanging out with Harry Nilsson on those the Lost Weekends. What are we up to? We're up to number 3. Here's this. The second best sounding audiophile pressing I listened to this week. I opened up my Seal 1977, The Beatles featuring Tony Sheridan from England. And it says this is Repros Electronic created stereo, but that's wrong. This is true stereo, and it's an audiophile pressing. Ain't You Sweet starts out there with John Lennon singing when he's about 18, 19 years old.
Ivan said, I love 12-inch records. I got around 1,000 of them. It's audiophile quality.
Yeah, everybody's starting to figure that out too. And the number one I listened to this week, a U.S. first pressing unipack of, it's got the postcards of Exile on Main Street. This is a CP Columbia pressing made out there in Los Angeles. And I was listening to Rocks Off and Sweet Virginia. Even though Keith Richards was pretty messed up at the time, his background vocals and Bobby Keys on sax, what a sound. And then tied with that, because the Stevie Wonder opened for the Rolling Stones when I saw him in 1972, July 12th. 1972 at the Indiana Convention Center when I was 18. I was there with my three high school buddies, Tom, Charlie, and Jeff. And when Mick Jagger was in his white jumpsuit and ran around the runway that went all around the arena, we held each other up, and we were only about 10, 15 feet away from Mick Jagger. But opening up that concert was Stevie Wonder, Talking Book. This is a 1972 album, and I played this UK pressing. Superstition really rocks out on this pressing. Superstition when he's into that playing the organ, and You Are My Sunshine of My Life. So that was my audiophile pressings I listened to this week.
Johnny Ramone said, hi, STICKERMANIA. 2 days ago, Foo Fighters concert raising funds for homeless. And great happy birthday to Dave Grohl. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Dave Grohl from Nirvana and the Foo Fighters. Talking about live albums. Gonna have the 50th anniversary. Gonna have to be a reissue of Frampton Comes Alive. It's in the original AM company 8-track sleeve.
Ivan said, A Flock of Seagulls song I Ran is my favorite from them. I have 3 albums from them.
Yeah, but Iran, the lead singer said if he had to sing that song one more time, he might cut his throat, but what a banger. And then the show I went to was Chicago Stadium, the summer of 1976, to see Paul McCartney and Wings, when Paul was at his peak, as far, in my opinion, as being a performer on stage. And the Wings Over America, I know some of this was fixed up on the one before it was released, but it's a hell of a live album. 3-album set, Wings Over America. All right, we got our Yoko Ono to talk about here, and then we're going to do a giveaway of a Stevie Nicks doll in here in a little bit.
I'll go ahead and show y'all the doll if you didn't see it last stream.
It's a Barbie doll from last year, but it's sold out, and the value of it goes up. Probably because Landslide is in the charts thanks to Stranger Things. Landslide was never released as a single, and now it's in the, probably be in the top 20 next week. All right, here's my Yoko Ono stuff here. Did I get all my notes done? Talked about Stevie Wonder opening for the Rolling Stones when I saw him at the Indiana Convention Center, July 12, 1972. I got some sold and purchase history. I'll talk about that real quick. Some high-end sold Beatle things in the last few days. Mikey Arugula probably has one of these. A 1964 Topps black and white first series uncut full sheet of trading cards. 132 cards went for $1,300. A That and I sold the Rubber Soul. I only have one left of the 10 albums I bought from Mazzy of my 1981 mono from the mono box. I have my the white album left. That's a tube cut, -2, -2, -4, -2. But I sold the Rubber Soul went out in the mail today. My -5, -5 Hazel Yardwood sold for $444.
Ivan said, I hate dolls, but I love Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac.
So you say you're gonna try to win it there, Ivan, Music Man? Few purchases that I have coming in. I have a Band on the Run 1973 German pressing. I have a white album coming in that's a pressing from Brazil. I have I got this from Rockaway Records. They put up a lot of Beatles memorabilia in the last few days. They put up a lot of rare Beatle brooches and guitar keychains, and a couple of them were on the backing cards, so I snapped that right up. And then I have a paint by numbers. It's a 27 by 23 of all 4 portraits, but it's all it's a promo poster they used in stores in 1964 to promote the Beatles paint by numbers. So I have the promo poster coming from that. I'm gonna have to repair it a little bit and put it in one of my frames here. So it should be on the background, hopefully Wednesday for the Every Little Thing Beatles episode. And I have a Beatles VJ 522 from the fall of 1963 on VJ Records for From Me to You. One of the 45s, like Paul said, in the Washington concert that flopped. And it's very good plus condition, VJ 522. And I have a sealed, talking about Joe from Stranger Things. In 2022, 4 years ago, or it's probably 3.5 years ago, they made 2,000 white vinyl foil stamped albums of this album that has End of the Beginning. And I got one of the last ones that are available that hasn't been sold out of the 2000. I think it's number 568. So I got that coming FedEx. I should have that by Wednesday.
Ivan said, no thanks, no dolls in my house. Everybody give a like for the video, please. Thank you.
And I have a Sgt. Pepper 1977 pressing coming in from Germany, and a Please Please Me Germany pressing. That's the audiophile -2, -2. And I got a David Bowie of Diamond Dogs coming from the United Kingdom. So I already have Ziggy Stardust, and I have Aladdin Sane. So my next UK pressing I'm going after this week is Diamond Dogs.
Appreciate it, Ivan.
I think those are most of my notes. All right, let's show these Yoko things, then we'll do our trivia question. Got this in from Kevin of Kevin Records. I don't have his card right here. He's here in Louisville. I did have his card one time.
That one that's flipped.
No. Put it somewhere. So I got these all from Kevin. This is a 1974 double LP set of Yoko Ono, Infinite Universe. There's Kevin Records cards. You can get a hold of him. He's got a business here in Louisville, Kentucky. This is John Lennon was on this. He's on the back. 2-album set on Apple Records. And then these are all promo 12 inches. We're talking about 12-inch records. These are all promos with the promo insert.
Danny said UK Tawi, so how do you pronounce it, are going up 25% on February 1st.
What is?
UK's
Tariffs?
Tariffs, yeah.
So this is the song that John and Yoko were working on that terrible night there in 1980 in December Walking on Thin Ice. That's one song I think that a lot of people, they play this in the dance clubs. The long version of Walking on Thin Ice is pretty good. Got a promo of Never Say Goodbye. They all say promo not for sale on the record label. Got one for No No No. There she is in New York City. And it's got Love Sean on the back. And we got one for Dogtown. Let's see if I get this one has the insert. Some of these have inserts. I don't know if I must have pulled them out or something. I'm not finding them now. This has got the hype sticker for Dogtown. And it says it's from the album Every Man Has a Woman. And that's this album right here. It's in the shrink with the hype sticker. John Lennon sings the song Every Man Has a Woman. And it also has Harry Nilsson on here, and Roseanne Cash, Elvis Costello, Roberta Flack, Sean Ono Lennon's on here, Eddie Money, and Trio. And then this was a later album of Yoko Ono, Star Peace. Got the hype sticker because it's a gold stamp promo copy. And a couple of UK pressings I got from this would have been from the late 70s. Mind Games, notice it has a different cover. And Rock and Roll, the cover is different. And this was one of the albums released on John Lennon a couple years after his death of Menlo Avenue. This has a couple of rejected tracks from the Rock and Roll is on this pressing here. Angel Baby, and thought there was another one, but it looks like that's the only one. Angel Baby, that was left over from the Rock and Roll sessions.
Ivan said those 12-inch 45 RPM records will be the new hot vinyl thing.
Yeah, they're talking about a lot on PB Thal and some other YouTube channels, and I think Steve Westman hadn't talked about it, but people are going to figure out that 12-inch is the next big thing in collecting audiophile pressings. This is a flyer when Yoko Ono did her exhibited all her items there in 2000 in New York City. War's over. All right, that's my Yoko Ono moment. Let's do our trivia questions now. Before that, I forgot to show this last time. Here is some artists that were knocked. Their careers pretty much went down the toilet when the Beatles came to America. You got Paul Anka. These are picture sleeves I found the other day. You got Connie Francis, Bobby Darin, and Pat Boone found out the same thing, so Pat Boone started selling Beatles memorabilia. He figured if you can't beat them, join them. Chevy Checker, Rick Nelson, Hello, Mary Lou, and Traveling Man, and Joey D, and the Starlighters.
Johnny Ramone asked if the Tony Sheridan is a Mr. Pickwick Records audiophile orange label, question mark.
Yes. Let's pull that out again. Pickwick is a budget label in England, but it's audiophile pressing, and it is on the orange True Stereo label. Contour. All right, let's do the trivia questions now. We've pushed it. We've talked about it enough. To win this $2,025 Stevie Nicks made by Barbie of Belladonna. Here are the 3 questions. I got 2 of these. One of these are up on my eBay store. STICKERMANIA 2853. And if you want to get a hold of me about anything through my YouTube channel, it's Mr_Stickermania@yahoo.com. Here's the 3 questions. Question 1. Which Fleetwood Mac album was the song Landslide on? What was the name of the Fleetwood Mac album? That's question 1. Question 2. How many singles charted in the top 40 from the 1981 Belladonna album by Stevie Nicks? How many songs on the album charted in the top 40? And number 3, what country in the world was this doll made in? Says there on the back of this. What country in the world was this doll made in?
No, who wants it? So Ivan said, good luck with sending away the doll.
Question 1. Which Fleetwood Mac album was the song Landslide on that's on the Spotify charts right now thanks to Stranger Things? Number 2.
John H. said Fleetwood Mac 4 in Hong Kong.
You're close. But you don't win a cigar. Or however that goes. How many singles charted in the top?
How about at the Fleetwood Mac 3 in China?
Nope. It was pretty close on the first one there. Ivan. Nope. It's one of them's wrong. Two of you've had it, but one of the answers is wrong. And number 3.
How about John H.? I mean, is any of them that's been going? Because Indonesia, Germany.
Danny Goldstein is the winner.
Danny.
Indonesia was the one you're having trouble instead of China. So the Fleetwood Mac album that Landslide is on is called Fleetwood Mac. 2. How many singles charted in the top 40 from the Belladonna album 1981? 4 songs. Stop Dragging My Heart, Edge of 17, Leather and Lace, and I don't know why I didn't write down 4 songs. There is a 4th song. I don't have it right here. And then the country that the doll was made in was Indonesia. So way to go, Danny Goldstein.
I mean, if you don't want it, we give it to my daughter. I'm sure she'll want it. He said, does anybody want the doll? I mean, I know Steve's granddaughter part with it, but we won't give it to her. But
Danny Goldstein, you want me to give this to
I mean, a little Beatles corner at the right answer later. I mean, I don't know. Does she want it? I don't know. Like, who? Like, Danny,
Patricia.
Danny, who do you want to give it to? Like,
you want to give it to Patricia? She was second. All right, that's our trivia question. Put that over there. Well, we got some other things to show.
No, my daughter don't really need it. Castillo says, I like dolls. Yes, I guess giving it to Patricia. So.
All right, Patricia will send it out to you. You can thank Danny Goldstein for that. Way to go, Danny. The butcher cover, we talked about our young guest next week, 14-year-old Brendan. This is his #1 thing on his want list, to get an original butcher cover. Got to be careful. A lot of people put up counterfeits all the time on eBay, and they sell for $300 or $400, and all they are is a Japanese slick that they pasted over a old Yesterday and Today cover.
Ivan said, please do not show the doll anymore.
We're done showing the doll, Ivan. Don't run away. I know you gotta go to bed. It's late there.
He said he's got the fourth song after the guitar or the glitter fades.
After the glitter fades? Okay. Thanks.
That
I
was
don't know
John.
why I didn't write it down. This is you've seen the sealed We Can Work It Out and Day Tripper. There was a whole warehouse find of that, but this is a rare one I got in. Sealed Lady Madonna and Inner Light in the original discount sleeve. That the golden original hits, they sold them for 3 for $1 or 39 cents each.
Exactly. We got Mikey show us the doll on Wednesday. I love that little doll he's got. Even though his dog ate the nose off because Danny
Yeah, he had a mishap where he opened something the other day on Mean Mr. Mayo's and the nose was busted during shipment.
Oh my God, who is calling?
Phone is ringing. We talked about the Butchers. We talked about the live albums. It's another UK pressing that I played. It's not my favorite David Bowie album, but I'm trying to give David Bowie another listen. He was a legend. This has got Blue Jean on it. Loving the Alien, Don't Look Down. God Only Knows. I'm pretty sure that's the Beach Boys song. God Only Knows. Let's see if Brian Wilson wrote it.
It was Kevin Records. You missed him, so you have
Yeah.
to give Kevin Records a call back.
Kevin from Kevin Records calls me during the live stream. He knows on my live stream, man. So this is a UK pressing of Tonight. Is that the name of this album? Come on, Frank. What album is it? It is Tonight. All right.
Greg said, want list complete again. C9, Yellow Submarine, and Thomas. Woohoo.
All right.
And then Ivan.
Arthur Mustache, we sent out your Yellow Submarine soundtrack, yellow vinyl, and the advertising poster went out in the mail today. So thanks a lot, Arthur Mustache.
And then Ivan said, Tonight song is a good from Bowie. The Tonight song.
Tonight. All right, I'll give that a listen. Thanks there, Ivan. So that reel-to-reel player that's up there for sale for $7,500 that were recorded the songs on this anthology of what songs do they have? Hallelujah, I Love Her So, You'll Be Mine, and K-Yine, I think that's how you say it. All was recorded on that reel-to-reel that's up for sale on eBay today from the Julian Lennon collection. Rolling Stones, we got this lenticular in. That came from the Vera View out of Mount Vernon, New York. They found some extra of these that were glued onto the their Satanic Majesty's Request album from 1967. But Vera View is the same company that made these flashers for the Beatles in '64. But on the bottom there, the 4 Beatle heads are there. If you look, it's tough to find them, but I found them before. They're all 4 real small on the bottom of that lenticular. Any other questions we got?
Nope, not right now.
Led Zeppelin box sets. We haven't talked about Led Zeppelin. So Steve Westman did a whole thing with Danny, an hour YouTube, and they were talking about how CDs from the late 80s and early 90s before Pro Tools are the best sounding CDs that there are. And this is a 1990 Led Zeppelin. They call this the Crop Circle box set. And this was remastered by Jimmy Page. Got the hype stickers for it there.
That's
And
the one that fell out.
And I've played that in my car, and it is an audiophile pressing of Led Zeppelin on these black CDs. So I guess CDs are having a big comeback. It's not really my thing. I do it for convenience, but I still think they don't compare to my audiophile vinyl pressings that I play on my Macintosh 5100 preamp amplifier from 1973.
Ivan said I got Anthology 4 on sale on vinyl on the way to me in the mail.
All right. John Paul Jones. There's all 4 of them on the back. And then we got this, the last time that Led Zeppelin ever performed together from 2007. This is a sealed box set of Celebration Day. So this was recorded 2007, and it took 5 years before they released it. If you ever watched the video, YouTube video, when 3 members of Led Zeppelin were on the David Letterman show. That's pretty strange. They set John Paul Jones right next to David Letterman, and he was pretty funny, John Paul Jones. But this is amazing that Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were on in years, and they still were able to perform so well together with John Bottom's son, Jason, on this Celebration Day. All right, we got any other questions? I got a few more things. Patricia, have you listened to your Beatles for Sale tube cut? You were supposed to get a -3, -1. That's what this is here, but I couldn't find it, so I sent you the -1, -1 tube cut. So you ought to be happy when you play it.
Eggleston said, I actually watched that David Letterman interview today. He didn't ask very good questions.
No, but John Paul Jones was right next to him, was answering most of the questions. But he was kind of flippant in his answers. Abbey Road. I have a UK first pressing come. I didn't win that 1978 BC 13 Abbey Road Harry T. Moss. I got outbid on that, but this is my misaligned 1969. I'll show you the difference in the covers. And this is the France contract from 1973. Notice how this is a darker tint, the original, than just for 4 years later. And that the apples are at a different place on the back.
Danny said John Paul Jones was hysterical.
I thought that was the best part of that interview was John Paul Jones. That goes with this one, and that goes with this one. Magical Mystery Tour. David from Safe and Sound, Texas. He sent me a message on eBay the other day. How I say how these audiophile pressings, how they play great on my Thorns turntable. The reason I don't use near mint in my grading is Tom Port from Better Records says even if they look unplayed, Frank, you need to say, looks hardly played, excellent condition. So that's what I do.
Ivan said Abbey Road is his favorite Beatles album.
Abbey Road, not a bad album. White Album is my favorite. And Beatles for Sale.
Got to be right there.
Yeah, well, it's the early one, but then the White Album, that's a 2-album set. This is looks hardly played with no spindle hole wear. I could call it near mint, but I don't use near mint. Tom Port told me that I shouldn't use that grading. And Tom Port knows a lot. He's been doing it for about 40 years. I haven't heard from Tom in a while. Haven't heard from Chad Cassim in a while either. Some of the people are going to Chad Cassim for the Chad Fest. I think that's coming up next fall. Mikey Rugel is coming to town for the Abbey Road on the River, May 22nd to the 26th, I think.
26, yeah, I think that's.
We got Mickey Dolan's coming. We got the Cal Seals, and we got Peter Noon. So that'll be a barn burner. I showed most everything. I don't know if I showed this last time. I got a sealed black and blue from 1976 that's got the hype sticker on the back for the songs.
Little Beatles.
That's
Chorus
when
said
Ronnie Wood just joined the group.
She says she's happy with my album. Thank you for the great one.
Who is it?
Little Beatles.
Oh, yeah. You got the all tube cut, the best. PB Thal did a video on Beatles for Sale, and he put 5 pressings up against each other in a shootout. And he said that stereo tube cut -1 beat everything. Talked about Purple Rain. Got a Let It Bleed UK pressing in, but this is a 1970s pressing.
And she likes the way you grade records. She says she likes that.
Yeah.
It's a good way to grade it.
Yeah, the near mint thing shouldn't really be used. Even when you have a record sealed, you don't know if it's near mint. All right, I think that is about it. We got some.
Make sure you give a like, appreciate all the views.
Thanks for checking in with us tonight, and make sure you check with us Wednesday, January 21st at an earlier time, 8 p.m., because we're going to have a special guest, a 14-year-old, and he's got to get up to go to school, with Mikey Arugula and Record and Trains Brennan. So check us out Wednesday. Thanks a lot. Bye.